this is Crissy from Crissy Crochet, and today I'm going to do a tutorial to show you how to make a granny square that starts out in a circle and then we turn it back into a square. We're going to use Premier Anti-Peeling Everyday Worsted acrylic yarn, and this color is dogwood, and we're going to also be using the color azalea, linen, and dove. For example, today we're going to start off with the darker color in the center, which this is azalea. We're going to start out with a magic circle, and all I do is I put the tail of my yarn across those two fingers. Then I just come with the working yarn and make an X, turn this over, hold it with my ring finger, go under this top one, come underneath, and pull it to this side, to the right side. Pick up the upper strand, and that will stabilize your magic circle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to put 11 double crochets, and we'll count this as our first double crochet, so we'll have a total of 12. So when we do a double crochet, yarn over, go into the circle, pull up your yarn, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that one is your first double crochet. We're going to do a total, we'll have 12, and the first one, as I said, the first one will be the chain 3. So there we have 3, 4, 5, 6, and of course just adjust this as you need to. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we need 2 more, 11 and 12. All right, now take the tail of the magic circle and just pull it in. Okay, and we want to tighten that, and then count up to the 3rd chain on your first chain 3, and of course before you do that, make sure you have 12. So that one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3 into that 3rd chain. Then we're just going to pull it on through, and then you're going to chain 1, and we're going to need to cut the yarn off and just pull this through and tighten that like that. Okay, so that is the first row. So basically you have 12 double crochets. Now we're going to add the linen color, and I'm going to put a slip knot on my hook, and I am going to use a little different method. You can put this on any way you want to, and if you're familiar with adding your yarn, you just do the method that you like, but I'm going to show you this as a little different way. So I've got a slip knot here. I'm going to yarn over there, and I'm going to hold that with my pointer finger. And it doesn't matter which one of these you go in. I'm just going to pick one here, and I'm going to go between stitches, and I'm going to come up through here. I'm going to yarn over and pull up. So I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through 2. Now you have to practice this a little bit because it'll slip. You have to hold it and then come through the other 2. And that's a real good way to get the right height and to start your next row. Now in this row, we are going to put 2 double crochets, so that counts as your first one. And we'll go in here and we're going to do a double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1 and go to the next one, do 2 double crochets, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull your yarn up, go through 2, go through 2, and then chain 1. And we're going to do this all the way around. Two in each space. And I am going between the spaces, not in the top of the stitch. Okay, chain 1 and keep going. Now, since I didn't start where I stopped on this row, I am going to just work that tail in as I go. So I did my chain 1, and then I'm just going to fasten that, just let that catch in there as I do my double crochets. And then I'll hide that tail as I go. Chain 1, 2, double crochets, chain 1, and I'll meet you when you get back. Okay, I've got one more space, and I chained 1 after that space, so I'm going to put my 2 double crochets right there. I'm going to chain 1. Now, the way I did this to start with, then that first stitch, you just go under the 2 loops at the top and slip stitch like that. Then do your chain 1, and we're changing colors each row, so we'll cut that off. And I'm going to pull that through, and I'm going to tighten it. Now, a thing that I do when I do that like this, I turn it over on the back, and now this is just something that I do. I go ahead and I just do a square knot, which a square knot you tie left to right and then right to left, whichever way you want to do. And that's a good knot that will hold. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to put knots, but actually when you start your next row, it will cover that little knot right there. And since this is probably going to be something that's going to be washed, I'll tighten that up a little bit more too. Since this will be washed, it will be good to have everything to where it doesn't come loose. So right there is what your first and second rows look like. For the third row, we are going to use, I'm going to use this dove color, and you can just put whatever color combinations that you want. Again, I'm going to use the method where you put a slip knot on your hook, and what you're doing is just creating a double crochet. Now, if you yarn over and you have to hold it. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I first learned to do this, it took me some practice because I would lose this loop right there. So again, just go into any space, and I'm going to go right there so that I'm not going in exactly at the same. All right, so like I said, you've got these two on your hook. Again, a slip knot, yarn over, hold it, go into one of the spaces, and then pull through with your yarn, and then you pull through the first two, and then you pull down or pull through the other two, and that makes a double crochet, and then you can tighten that if you need to. So that looks pretty good. I think that looks a little better than just the chain. But if you don't want to use this method, all you have to do is just hook your yarn and chain 3. And so that'll be our first one. We're going to put 2 more. So the third row, you're putting 3 double crochets in each space. So put your, there's 3, counting that first one, chain 1, and then just go to your next space, and you're going to put 3 double crochets, just like that, chain 1, go to the next space, and do 3 more. Okay, so I'll meet you back when you get back to where we started with row 3. We are ready to do the last 3 double crochets. Chain 1. Again, that very first stitch, go under those 2 loops, or if you did a chain 3, slip stitch through the 3rd chain, and so slip stitch, chain 1, cut your yarn, pull through, and tighten that up. Okay, and again, I turn it over, and I just do just a square knot back there, and it tightens in. And see now, before, when we did the last one, you'll come back around. I think it's right in there. But what happens is, it just covers it up, and then you know this isn't going to come apart when it's washed and so forth. Now, if it's something that you won't be washing much, I don't worry about doing the knots, but doing the type double crochet that I start with, it just works out well to do that. Okay, so now we have our 3 rows that's still circular. Right, now we're going to do row 4, and this one will turn the circle into a square. So I'm going to use that same method, just so this is something different. And you chain 3 if you'd rather, and hook your yarn on. Okay, so yarn over, go into any of the chain 1 spaces, and bring up a loop, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2. Now, I'm going to make 2 sets of 3 double crochets first. Okay? And I'm going to not chain between these 2 sets this time. I'm just going to do 3 more double crochets. Now, this next one, I'm going to make the corner. And to do that, I'm going to do a triple crochet. So you yarn over twice, you go into the space, bring it up, yarn over and come through 2, yarn over, come through 2, yarn over, come through 2. We're going to make 3 of these triple crochets. Okay, so you've got to go through 3 times. Yarn over twice, down into the space, yarn over, come up, go through 2 loops, go through 2 loops, and then the other 2 loops, okay? Now, I am going to chain 1, and some people chain 2. I'm just going to chain 1 for the corner. We're going to do 3 more triple crochets right into the same space. So there's your first one. Bring your loops over twice in there. Come up through 2, through 2, and through the other 2. Get some yarn here. It's got a tangle. Okay. I've got one more to do there. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, now if you prefer putting 2 in the corner, you can. This is just the way I'm doing this one. So that's what it will look like so far. Now let's do 2 more sets of 3 double crochets. Okay, there's one set. Go to the next space. Okay, that's where the knot is. So a lot of times I'll just kind of pull that back like that, then kind of go on this side of it, and then it hides it better. Okay, and then we'll end up, when we get those worked in, they won't show. Now we're going to do another corner. So we're going to triple crochet into the next space, triple, there's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to chain 1, then I'm going to do 3 more triples. And 1 more. Okay, so right there is your second corner. Right there. Okay, now let's continue. I'm not putting a chain. I'm going on over to the space, and I am doing 3 doubles. Skip to the next space. We're going to put 3 doubles. Okay, now we're ready for another corner. So this one's going to be corner. So to get that square, we'll do, we'll loop over twice, chain over, and then you get 3 loops on your hook again. Go in and do a triple crochet. Okay. Okay, there's the first set. Then chain 1 and do 3 more triples. Okay, so we'll look at it and see how nicely that's squaring up. Now we just continue. Another set of doubles. So 3 doubles. Go to the next space. 3 doubles. Now, this other space is going to be for the other corner. So we're going to yarn over twice. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Go in, pull up your yarn, go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. So we're going to do 3 triple crochets. And I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to do 3 more triples. I'm trying to do a double there. We better get a triple in there. Okay. Then we don't chain. We're back to where we started. So in that first double crochet we made, we're going to go over those, under those 2 top loops, and slip stitch, and then chain 1 and cut our yarn. Okay, pull that through and turn it over, and we'll go ahead. I always just tie these as I go so we can hide them in the next row. There's, okay. And it's just the square knot. Okay. Now, that is the 4 rows. So we have the 4 rows. So I'm going to do a 5th row and show you how you go around the corners as you continue this, because you don't use the triple crochets now. We just use double crochets like a standard granny square. All right, make your slip knot if you're doing my method, or you hook your yarn and chain 3 if that's the way you want to do it. Go into any space. So I'm going to get this ready. I'm going to yarn over and hold it. I'm going to go into that space and pull up, pull through the 2, and that's kind of our fake double crochet. All right, do 2 more. And I'm going to go over to the next space. I'm not going to do a chain. I'm going straight into the next space. Okay, like that. Now we're to our corner. So we're going to put a group of 3 double crochets, which that's just kind of the granny stitch cluster. That's what it's really called. The 3 together. Then chain 1 or 2 if you're doing 2. As I said, a lot of people put 2 in the corners. Some people put 3. But I've sort of started doing 1. But as I said, that's your decision on that. So that's going to make that the first corner. So you just continue around now, just with the granny clusters of 3 double crochets. Just you keep going. And of course, every time you go around, you're going to have 1 more group on the sides. Now go straight over to the next one. Do my 3. Okay, now once again, I jump to the corner. I do 3 double crochets. Chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, so there's the second corner. So go on around and put your 3 double crochet clusters in between on the sides. In the corner, do 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the same space. do your other side and your other corner, and I'll meet you back right here. Back around, and I've done that fourth corner right there. Okay, so I've got one more granny cluster to do in between, so I'll do it. And then, if you were finishing this round, you might want to do, and you weren't going to add any to it, you could do an invisible join. And let me just show you how to do that. You can use the method we've been using, or you can cut your yarn and pull that through. And let me get a needle, just some sort of tapestry needle, works good. And all you have to do is just go, actually you're going to remake that one at the top. So in that middle stitch, you can go through there and pull that, and then go right into the one that you came out of. And I go ahead and go down a little bit on that. And that is an invisible join, and you can see, you can't tell any difference there. Now when you turn it over, I'm still going to tie this from behind and just kind of keep it lower, okay, square knot, but I don't want it to go up on top. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll do the opposite way to get the square knot. Okay, see, it's all the way on the back. You're not going to see that. See how that top still looks all smooth across there? Then we're going to turn it over, and we have to work in our ends. Now, if on the back, you see how right here, those look like those have carried that stitch where I tried to work them in. If it's showing very much, I just work them in myself. These are kind of showing. The first ones didn't, but that one did. So that's where I worked that one in. So I'm going to pull that center tight. And I know if you've crocheted, you know that you've got to work your ends in. So what you can do, I usually go the same way first, but some people do it the other way. But then I go back in the opposite way, like that, or just however you want to do it, and however you want to go around with it, just so it doesn't come loose. Okay, I'm going to go back just one more time right there. That'll do it, I think. Okay, so I'll cut that one off. And this one we worked in, but I'm going to still go ahead and use my needle to secure it maybe just a little more. I may go back the other way and catch some different fibers of the yarn. And you just want to hide it to where it doesn't show on the front and still look neat on the back, because sometimes if it's like a throw, a lot of times it gets turned over. So you still want it to look neat. I got tickled. I made a throw for a friend of mine, and she showed it. I'd used granny squares, all just standard granny squares, and when she showed it on social media, she actually had it turned over on the back. So I thought, well, at least, you know, she couldn't tell a whole lot about the difference, but, you know, if you crochet, you can tell it. But I got tickled that she had it on the wrong side as the top side. So just go ahead and work the rest of your ends in. And up here, like I said, if you knotted it, keep that kind of low, because you don't want that, if this is an edge that's going to show. Now, I'll just leave that there, and we'll look at it. There's a lot of things you can do with this. You can make a throw. You can make You could use cotton yarn, make a dishcloth, and just different things out of these squares. And there's different ways that you can put them together. But for this tutorial, I'm going to just stop here, and then later I may take this same piece. I've got an idea that I may do another tutorial to show you something else you can do. And here was another color combination, as I showed you at the beginning. This worked out the best for the blanket that I made, which I already posted it, and I'll see if I can attach a link to it when I post this. Okay, thank you for joining with me today, and I hope you learned some things doing this. And if you have any questions, just put it in the comments. And if I'm going to do 2 different versions of this, one for TikTok and YouTube, one will be longer. So if you hadn't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate you doing that. And if you like the video, if you do a like, and subscribe if you would like to see other things when I work on them. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.